love and sex with sugar.
Hi, my name is Sugar, and welcome to the very first episode of Love and Sex. On this show, we will be talking about love, sex, and everything relating to love and sex. Now, this show promises to be exciting, interesting, educating, informative, and raw. We'll be giving it 100% raw on this show. Which brings me to the topic of today. What are the common mistakes that women make in relationship? What are those mistakes the women make in relationship that they don't even consider as mistakes? We'll be right back after the break. Stay tuned.
Love and sex with sugar.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Love and Sex with Sugar. Now back to today's topic, which is the common mistakes that women make in a relationship. What are these common mistakes that women make in a relationship? Some research actually stated that some of the common mistakes that women make in relationship are: 1. Nagging. What is nagging? Nagging is actually being persistently painful, like being a pain in the ass, being persistently irritating, being too demanding, being pestering. This is what nagging is. You're always nagging your man. Do you actually know that nagging is the biggest killer of a relationship? I bet you don't know that. Nagging can actually kill your relationship before it even starts. So, as a woman, you have to cut out on nagging. You have to just stop nagging your man. Men love peace. A man will always choose peace of mind over anything. No man wants to go home to a woman who nags all the time. We know that there are certain reasons why women nag. We're not disputing that fact. But then, we're talking about a woman who naturally nags about every single thing. There are ways you can talk about things. There are ways you can convey your needs to your man. Men love it when women are subtle. You don't have to exercise your masculine energy on your man. Men love it when women are caring, they're loving. Convey your needs to him in a very calm way. I'm sure if he's a reasonable man, he would always listen to you and do those things that you want him to do. So you don't necessarily have to nag your man to death, because nagging can actually lead to frustration. You can lead that man to frustration, and frustration can lead to depression, which can also cause suicide. It can make him become suicidal. You really don't want to put your man through all of this. So nagging is actually one of those mistakes that has been listed. The second mistake is being too clingy. Men hate women that are too clingy. What is being too clingy? When you're actually emotionally dependent on someone, on your partner. You're emotionally dependent totally on your partner. You don't give him a breathing space. The man cannot just go on his own and have fun and do things that he wants to do. You are always there in his presence. You are always there right in his face. Men do not love these things. Let me give you an instance of a clingy woman. She's always going to check her man's phone every minute of the day, putting herself under duress. Why would you even date a man that you are not comfortable with, you don't trust? You should be able to trust your man to a certain extent, where you don't have to check his phones to know what he's doing, to know if he's cheating on you. A man that will cheat on you will cheat. There's this popular saying that game where go cut. So you don't have to do all of that. You should date a man that you can trust. And if you're not actually getting that trust from him, you should always, what is the free word? You can always take a walk, baby girl. You don't have to be in such kind of relationship. Another example of a clingy woman is you are always following him to every every occasion, everywhere he's going. You follow him to work, to toilets, to bathroom, to everywhere. You are there. Don't you have a life? Don't you have things that interest you? Don't you have things that you can do for yourself? What if the relationship finally ends? You don't have a relationship with your family, with your friends. You are always there with your man. That is actually a toxic dating habit that needs to stop. Being too clingy. Men don't love a woman that is too clingy. Men want to have their space, They want to go out with their friends and grab a drink on a Friday night and chill and talk. They don't want you to always be in their presence every time. So being too clingy is actually part of this mistake that women make. Thirdly, not being appreciative. This one actually sounds very common, but it's not so common. Because if a man would go all through the stress of the day and come back home to meet you, and you can't even welcome him with a good kiss, with a good hug, with some good food. You're always there, not appreciating anything that he does. That is actually a big fault. Men love women that are appreciative. They love a woman that brings praises on them. Call him my lord, my daddy, my sugar, my honey. Men love to be pets. They love you to always call them all the sweet names. Appreciate them for the little things that they do. It will always attract them to make them please you. Appreciate them for the little things that they do. It would always drive them to please you more. Being appreciative is a very good quality that a woman needs to have if you must have a successful relationship. Appreciating from the little things, buying you gifts, doing some stuff for you, and even being appreciative. It doesn't necessarily have to be financial. It could be all the little things that he does for you. It could be just the grand gesture of love. All those sweet things. And if it's also financial, good and fine. That's just some icing on the cake. Every woman wants a man that can actually take them on trips, buy them expensive gifts, expensive designers, and all of that. But if your man is not capable of doing all those things at the moment, you should also appreciate the little things that he does. This is also part of the reason. And the last one, which is comparison. A woman always comparing her partner to the other party. Oh, my husband is not doing this for me. My boyfriend is not doing this for me. Then the other person, they just bought a car for her. All those things. It's very toxic. It's a very toxic habit to exhibit. You really don't have to do all of that. You don't have to compare your man to another person's man, because you really don't know what they are facing in their relationship. They won't come to tell you that, oh, I'm facing this in my relationship, I'm facing this in my... No, nobody comes to tell you that. They only show you the good side of their relationship. And you are all there crying and wanting to kill yourself because you don't have what the other person has. No, that needs to stop. Comparing your man, you should be able to love your man the way he is. If you've accepted to date him, love him the way he is. Appreciate him, be with him, try to manage with him and love him just the way he is. Do not compare your man to some other guy that you are not even in a relationship with. It's until you get into that space, you really know what the story is. So comparison is one thing. It's something you should never do. Don't ever compare your man to another person. Always appreciate your man. I would actually not be talking about this topic alone. I have an amazing guest who will be joining us to discuss and dissect and dispense information about the common mistakes that women make in relationships. Our guest on the show today is an amazing person. It's someone you would love to see. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back after the break.
Love and Sex with Sugar.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Love and Sex with Sugar. And our guest for today is a brilliant actor, a veteran actor, one who has been gracing our screen for ages. He is a loving husband. Please, let's make welcome Mr. Jude Orhorha.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you on the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
You know, while growing up, I usually watch you on my favorite TV show. So it's actually a privilege to have you on the show today. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks very
So,
much, Sugar.
Without wasting much of your time, let's go straight to the topic of today,
Okay.
which is, what are the common mistakes that women make in relationships? What do you feel are those common things that women make that they don't even consider as mistakes, but in reality they are mistakes?
First of all, let me correct that impression using the word common.
Okay.
I'll use the word normal.
Oh.
Normal, because it's only normal for a lady to behave the way they do. Normal in the sense that it's their nature.
Okay.
That's one. Two, some of the normal mistakes I come to realize is the fact that they really do not communicate that much.
Okay. Lack of communication.
Yes, lack of proper communication.
Okay.
And sometimes misunderstanding. Misunderstanding in the sense that what a man is trying to do is different from the way the woman thinks he's trying to do.
Yes.
Because the reason why I'm saying this is this. A guy, for instance, might have a friend, a very close friend.
Okay.
And for one reason or the other, the lady might actually think that something is happening. Misunderstanding.
Okay.
Very, very good point in the sense that jealousy, or rather insecurity.
Yeah.
So she feels that,
Something probably must be going on.
or the lady should have at least thought that, look, this guy knows her. He's been her friend before people started dating.
Yeah.
And there are some female friends that are very, very close to a guy and nothing is happening between them.
You know, the reason for that fear is most times we've seen this friendship thing always resulting to them always going down on each other. So it's not basically all about the insecurity, them building that insecurity. It has always been a fault on the male folk side.
No matter how hard the guy tries to convince the girl that, look, she's just a very close friend, she's like a sister to me.
Yeah.
The more the girl feels insecure, and no, something's going on.
Yeah, that's because there's a reason for
And
that.
the girl is the guy is always with his girlfriend.
Okay.
Always.
Mhm.
So where's that space for that mistrust?
Okay, so let's not even
Misunderstanding.
digress from
No,
the main topic, which is the common mistakes that women make. So you have stated that lack of understanding, and lack of proper communication are part of these mistakes that women make.
Yes.
Alright guys, we're having an amazing time here with Mr. Jude Orhorha. We'll be right back after the break.
Love and Sex with Sugar.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Love and Sex with Sugar, and we're having fun today at the studio. So guys, back to the topic. Mr. Jude, you know, according to research actually stated that the 4 common mistakes the women make are: 1, being too nagging. Like a nagging woman, the woman always nagging about everything.
Okay.
Secondly, a woman who is too clingy, that doesn't give a man space to breathe.
Okay.
And thirdly, a woman who is not appreciative of things, little things, big things. You know, she's generally not appreciative.
Okay.
Then fourthly, a woman who is always comparing her man to another man. Comparison.
Okay.
So do you actually agree to this point?
Not all. Some.
Okay.
Okay, fine. On the issue of nagging, for every action there must be a reaction.
Alright.
What would make the woman nag in the first place?
Yes.
Is it that what the man must have done to her,
Okay.
or must have done anyway?
Yes.
So a woman cannot just wake up and start nagging. Do you
But
understand?
sometimes we actually feel like there's some women that are born naggers. They are whether you
I agree to that.
yes,
I
whether
agree
you
to
kill
that.
yourself for them, they will still go ahead to nag.
On a scale of 1 to 100, I agree to that. Maybe let's say 70%.
Yes.
Not all the women nag.
Yes.
Okay.
No, of
And
course.
even if they do, if some of them do, they do it with some
Reasons. There must be
yes,
a reason
exactly.
attached to why the person does
But
it.
I fully agree that ladies, some,
Yes.
not all,
Yes.
some nag.
Nag.
And like you said, it's in their nature to nag. Now, let's face facts. A woman that nags must have a reason
Why she's nagging.
why she's nagging.
Okay.
Is it that she has been bearing for too long
Yeah.
and it's got to that point, so she will just keep saying it.
Nagging.
While some, like I always say,
Yes.
there are two sides to a coin.
Yes.
The one is whether the man is doing anything right to
Wrong. She just enjoys nagging.
Exactly, it's part of her. Now, where do you resolve this issue? Do you call the woman to order?
Yeah.
And even if you do call to order and she continues,
Nagging.
then there's a big problem.
Okay.
There's a big problem somewhere.
Yeah.
And like I always say, you have to learn to live with each other's faults.
Yeah.
So if nagging is one of our traits and you still go ahead with the relationship, please carry your cross well. Because I want to believe that before you go deep into a relationship, you should
must
at least
have
know
notice the red flags.
exactly.
Yes.
Then you mentioned another one again.
Being too clingy.
Being too clingy is part of insecurity.
Mm.
Maybe the girl is dating a fine boy. She gets,
Okay.
and the fine boy was always attracting a lot of other girls around.
Yeah.
So you are now scared of the fact that
The family just taking away from him.
So let me just
Holding him.
so that's that if he wants to go to the toilet, you follow him to the toilet.
And there's this common one about checking the phone.
That
Having to
is-
check the guy's phone every minute of the day.
That is another habit that has to
Stop.
stop. Why? It is called a phone. Your privacy.
Personal phone. Yeah.
It is when I do not trust you that I'll go for.
Exactly.
Some ladies will check their guy's phone for eternity, but the guy will not even touch her phone.
You know, I
And
actually.
the girl has what you call it when you lock your phone,
Yeah. Password.
password, but the guy doesn't. And yet you still check his phone. For crying out loud.
Do you know, I actually fall into this category of checking the phone, but over time I had to like learn and know that it's actually when you don't trust someone to the extent that's when you. In fact, having to check your man's phone is way too stressful. You just want to put yourself under duress, you know.
You give yourself an attention.
Love and Sex with Sugar.
Of course, yeah. So, I mean, this is actually not an attack on female folks. Yeah, because we'll actually be treating the other side of the topic, which is the common mistakes that men
Men.
also make.
Oh,
yeah, so
right.
we'll actually be treating that in this show. So, back to the top one, which is not being appreciative.
Yes, not being appreciative. When a guy is poor, is not well to do, and you now say, look at you, all your mates, they're driving Benz, they're driving this, and they're spending on their ladies, and anyhow, it's totally wrong.
Yeah,
Totally wrong in the sense that everybody has his own time.
yeah.
You know, if it is your time to make it, it's your time to make it.
Mhm.
Whether you do Yahoo or you do legit.
Yes.
But when the girl now, keeps
Put you,
pushing it
yeah.
into his face,
Yes.
then there's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And some guys that cannot handle it will just go and commit suicide.
Wow.
It's
That's
true.
true. It's actually
And some guys,
frustrating.
why some guys, instead of committing suicide, they'll just go into, illegal things.
Or probably just leave the relationship, you know.
They can't leave the relationship because it's love. And you know what they say, love is blind.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, come on, let's face facts. It's the same thing with women. There are some
Yeah.
guys who will beat the women,
Yes.
beat the hell out of the woman, but the woman will still prefer to stay with that guy.
To love the guy.
To love the guy. While there are some guys who are honest in relationship, like a mumu, and the girl will just be, like,
Yes,
Yeah.
anyhow. That's why I think that's why this saying goes that the good ones will always fall for the tough ones, you know? And the tough ones always are looking for the good ones.
life no balance. It's life no balance. It's the truth. A guy is sincere and very honest
Yes.
with the lady, and the lady treats him like trash.
Okay.
But the ones that are bad boys, why do you know why they like them?
Mhm.
And they're very good in bed manners. And that's what most ladies like. When you're good in bed
Yeah,
manners.
ladies
Whether
will
you're
love
poor, whether you have money, Whether you are fine or ugly, as long as you're very good in bed matters.
But these days, if you are very good in bed and you don't have the money, it's more to ladies. I'm talking about these days. It's more like a deal breaker.
No, I beg to differ. That's not
They
right.
will always want to go get the dick and still get the money somewhere else.
No, yeah. So that means there are classification of boys or guys that the girl is dating. So they have a reason for dating 5 people at the same time. 1, physical. 2, money. 3, spiritual. 4, psychological. 5, that's what they're friendship. Oh, the most important was
money, of course. We know that. So the last point, which is being comparing your man to another person, you know.
Now, not being appreciative is, to me, I'd rather say that the girl is actually heartless when it comes to that. Yes, you have to be. Yeah.
Probably she doesn't know how to appreciate, you know. She doesn't have the knowledge of acknowledging things that are done, or little things or big things, you know.
Yes. What's difficult in saying thank you?
Some people actually have a big problem with saying thank you.
That's
where the mistake comes in. That's why it becomes a mistake. Because if it's not a mistake, they probably would be doing it.
It becomes a mistake when she realizes that the guy she bought something for didn't tell her thank you. Or you don't tell him thank you. There is a problem.
Yes.
You let the guy tell you thank you all the time. But when it comes to your turn, you don't tell him thank you.
That's a very big
It's a
mistake.
fundamental problem.
Yes.
And like I said before, a guy who wants to go into a relationship with a girl must, with a capital M, know who he is going to date.
Yes.
You don't just fall into a relationship. Just like,
Yeah.
but right now, hey, who cares? As long as money is there. So, not being appreciative, seriously, I agree with you on that.
Yes.
Not being appreciative to a large extent destroys a relationship.
Alright, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on this show. We really appreciate all your opinions. So guys, you've heard it from Mr. Jude Orhorha. He's given us his opinion about this topic and it's been wonderful.
Love and sex with sugar.